Hi, and welcome to our site. You're obviously here because you love dogs, and so do I. And I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you about our new Train the Dog Trainer program, Elite 2.0. And I'm going to tell you a little bit why it's the Elite 2.0 program, because we've had a couple other Train the Trainer programs that were very good, and we got to work with a lot of wonderful people, but there was a little something missing, and I didn't quite know what that was, so I had to take some time to learn that. But before I go into that, what I want to do is I want to tell you about the Falco K9 story, and that will help bring everything together. And for those of you that don't know about us, have not heard of our training or know me or have been doing of our training sessions, this is going to be new to you. So I want to make sure and let you know what our background is and how it'll affect you and how it will give you more information than you ever got from any other Train the Dog Trainer program. So first of all, I grew up wanting to train animals. I had, of course, like anybody else, I had dogs, I had hamsters, I had lizards, but I really felt this desire to do more. All my dogs, I wanted to train them to do tricks like do the shy dog and of course, shake and roll over and play dead and all that kind of stuff, and I had a good time doing it. I had birds, I had parrots that I was training to do the same thing. I tried to train some hamsters to do some stuff, not quite as successful. I'm not sure if I'd be even more successful today, but that was one of my things that I did. I had, friends bring over their animals and we would work with them. So it's always something that I wanted to do. As a matter of fact, I wanted to be a whale and dolphin trainer over at SeaWorld, and specifically even an otter trainer. Now today I've watched that movie Blackfish, and I'm kind of rethinking about, my love for that type of thing, but that's a whole nother story, and we can get into that in the course. The other thing that happened in my life is I became a police officer, and fairly soon into my career, I found the K9 unit and found that I had a passion for this particular thing, probably because my background as a child, training dogs and wanting to be a animal trainer to begin with. The K9 program really was an attractive unit for me to try to get into, and of course it is one of the very first units I got into within the first couple years of my career, which is mostly at that time was unheard of. So I got into the K9 program and, of course, found that passion. The thing is that I learned to work with a dog and to train a dog in very high stress, very high stimulating situations. After a pursuit of over 100 miles an hour through the streets of Anaheim, down the I-5 towards San Diego or up towards LA, and getting out and trying to get that dog to be either obedient or go search for somebody or call them off after I've sent the dog onto somebody when the guy suddenly gives up, being able to do that in that kind of situation is a trick all on its own. That is not unlike the stress that people feel or get when they are on a walk and their dog suddenly sees a skateboarder and they have this desire to chase the skateboarder or bite the skateboarder or chase a cat or another dog and that type of stuff. The other thing I learned later on is how to train humans under those same type of situations. This is, again, a whole new ball game. If you're trying to work with somebody, I would travel all over the United States, all over North America. I got involved in a group called the International Police Canine Conference, and even though they were training situations, I used these training situations to put the handlers in very high stressful situations and then have them respond in a certain way. And I realized quickly that many people don't respond the same, even if they've done it over and over again in training. Training is very not like, I know that's a good sentence, is very much not like a real situation when you're either being shot at or you're chasing a guy who's armed and dangerous, or you've been in a lengthy pursuit and you crash, or the other person crashes and now you have to get out and you have to make certain decisions. Even though you've had lots of training, it really is different in those real life situations. So learning how to train humans to react and to be thoughtful in what it is that they are doing and purposeful, and how to respond if something doesn't happen the way it's supposed to, especially with a dog. If you're calling your dog off and he doesn't call off like he's supposed to, mostly because of the high stimulation, both environmentally and from the handler, these are very, very tricky situations. So how does that apply to our human trainers and our pet dog training? It applies very much the same, because a young lady who's on a walk with her dog, who happens to be maybe a large German Shepherd, who suddenly decides that they don't like this dog or this person that they're approaching, and that dog is trying to pull her over or towards that person, and the stress level that she gets up to could be very much the same as we felt as a police officer. So my history in knowing how to train human beings in that very same situation, that same feeling, has become a very important part of our training process. And in this course that we're talking about, this is one of those things that I'm going to talk about and show you how to respond accordingly. The next part of the Falco K9 story is a very slow-moving graphic. Is that I've developed my own training style and system that works. Now, I never really attended any pet dog training sessions. I never went to a group sessions. I've never gone to the park and been involved. I've never gone to Petco or PetSmart and been involved in their training. So I've seen it from far away, or by walking through the store or walking by the park and seeing what they're doing. But I really didn't have a preconceived idea of what a training session was supposed to look like. So I developed my own based on what I knew was important. I knew that it's important for the human being not to give multiple verbal commands to their dog and not to repeat themselves, because I saw that far too many times in law enforcement, and there's not enough time. When you're sending your dog after somebody who is a bad guy and they suddenly turn and give up, you don't have time to give them 3 or 4 commands, because the dog is running at somewhere near 20 miles an hour towards somebody, and your reaction time doesn't give you enough time to say it over and over and over again. So it's really important that we don't get into that unfortunate habit of repeating ourselves. And so that's one of the things that I threw early on into our training system, is how to get people to stop repeating themselves. As a matter of fact, we do a lot of training where we don't even speak to the dog. It's all through body language. Really, really important part of our training system. And then adding real life situations, stressful situations into our training program. All that is really important. So our training style, our training system, the 8 steps that we take our humans into in our basic obedience class is really probably way different than anything that anybody's ever been involved with before. Number one, I didn't steal it from anybody necessarily. There's nothing really new in dog training, but I didn't take anybody's curriculum or system and copy it. This really is from my experience as a canine handler and how it applies to pet dog training. Right, so that's was a really important part of our training, and has led to our success. I need to learn how to earn a living in this industry, because in 2002 I got into a very serious car accident. I felt that it became very difficult to recover from that accident. I had vertigo. In 2005, the city decided to retire me. So now this business that I built more as a hobby and then as a part-time business or part-time job now became my full-time job. And now I need to learn a living at it. And I realized there's not a lot of dog trainers other than your Cesar Millans and your Uncle Maddie's and whoever else you have on TV. Those people make a fairly decent living. The Duets in Riverside County, there's a few that make a pretty good living, but they add the added stuff of protection dog, police dog, bomb, narcotics, that kind of stuff. How do you make money just at pet dog training? Because a lot of other people don't have that experience of those other things to get them into the place where they can start making money. Well, I learned how to do that, and I had to, because I was kind of forced into the situation where I had to earn a living. I have 5 kids. I'm married. I have a house in Orange County, and I had to earn a living there, in doing this, or else I was going to have to do something else. And I didn't want to, because I wanted to do what I love. All right, so I figured that out, and I'm going to pass this on to you. I studied multicast marketing and internet marketing because, again, I had to. Marketing's changing. No longer are the yellow page ads working. No longer are there coupon magazines or books that get sent to people's homes, or the Groupons, or the what are those value pack things that get sent to those things are long gone and no longer working. Use your yellow page ad or yellow page book to hold open a door or to sit on if you need one. But it's not for marketing anymore. All right, so we're going to pass that on. And all this has culminated into a very lucrative business for me, and it has brought me to the forefront and experience, so that I am now in 2 TV shows that are on National Geographic. They'll be coming out this year, 2014. I have 2 documentaries that are currently in production that they've called me to assist them on. I'm going to be on the local news 2 times in the next couple weeks. And then I have my speaking engagements. The biggest one coming up is in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace, where I'll be speaking to about 1,000 people, maybe 1,500 people. And so it is all because of the Falco K9 story, all the processes that I've learned and how that I've applied them. And you can do this too. I really know that there's that anybody, if they applied themselves, can do the very same thing that I've been able to do, whether you think you can do it or not. During this 3-day course, and there's going to be some time before the course and a lot of time after the course where we're going to stay connected. It's going to still be part of this program that we are going to show you exactly how you can do this. And even if you don't think you can do it, as long as you implement and you apply what it is that I teach you, you will be able to do it. All right, so why Elite 2.0? What I believe is that what I've been doing up to this point is 1.0 training. In other words, teaching you about the basics of training a dog, teaching you about the basics of how to handle a class. But this is really the next step. This is the next step, whether you're just starting or you're a trainer that's been training for several years. I'm going to take you into a place that you've never been before in both training the dogs and then how to run your business as a dog trainer. Excuse me. So if you're somebody who just wants to earn money doing something you love, this is going to be the program for you. If you're tired of doing the stuff that you have to do because that's the only thing you've been able to do for the last 15, 20, 30 years, and you're making money, but it's not really something that you love. You're not going to work with an eagerness to just let's go and handle this day. If you want to go to work and then not only go to work invigorized, but actually come out of work even more excited, more just stimulated from what it is you were able to accomplish, this dog training business is for you, as long as you follow our system, because it can be very stressful if you don't know what you're doing. All right. The next thing is this could be for trainers who want to do things their way and not to be limited. You know, I talked about some of those other training programs that are out there, and then some of them they only allow you to do training a certain way, so it limits you on what kind of dog and human that you can train. Number one. It doesn't allow you to take on the more challenging customers, because again the system that they use is only limited to a certain type of dog. So if you're tired of training dogs that are good dogs basically, and you want to really save the dogs that are getting taken to shelters and rescues, they're being euthanized, if you really want to make a difference, then this program is going to be for you. And if you've been limited in the system that you're in now, whether it's your own or working for somebody else, you know, you're going to want to take our training system so we can show you how to take on some of those more difficult and more challenging situations. If you're a trainer who's tired of not earning enough money, now this is huge, because I remember having a walk with a friend of mine named Bob Wright. He's another canine expert that we were training all over the world, basically training police canine handlers. And we were walking one day and we thought, you know what, we were basically the top at that time. We were the top of the police canine training expertise in that particular industry. And we're going, actually, I think at that time we weren't making any money. So we knew that we were at the highest level, but yet not at the lowest level as far as making money. And we're thinking anybody else that's an expert in almost anything else in this world makes a really decent living just from their consultation, just from doing what we were doing at that time. And I knew we had to do something more. So if you are at a high level and you're able to train dogs and you're able to help people with their dogs and you're not making any money at it, come to this program. I'm going to show you how to do it. All right. So if you're tired of not earning the money that you deserve as a canine expert, this is the place for you to be. And then for those of you that really want to make a difference, and that's what I brought up earlier, by being in a place where you're limited. If you want to make a difference in some of these dogs' lives, because there's many dogs out there that they just simply need a human being that understands them a little bit better, understands how to read their body language, understands how to anticipate problems, get into the dog's mind a little bit. And some of these dogs wouldn't be taken to the shelter. They wouldn't be taken to the rescue, because they're going to have a trainer, and that's going to be you, who's going to be able to make that difference with their human, and then save that dog's relationship with that family and maybe not have to be taken away. You know, there's only been a very few times in the 25 to 28 years that I've been doing this that I've suggested to somebody that that dog was a dangerous dog and may need to be euthanized. We have a very high success rate that we've not had to tell people to do that, and they've been able to save that relationship with their dog. And again, it only applies to people who follow our direction, only applies to people that do their homework, or only applies to people that trust in what we're doing and follow through with the things that we tell them to do. All right, so if you really want to make a difference, this is a program that's going to be really ready and waiting just for you to sign up. So what you will learn And these are just some of the things. You're going to, of course, learn some things about dog behavior. Again, whether you've been doing this for years or not, I'm sure that there's something in our training that we're going to teach you that may be a little bit different, maybe a different spin. But if you have no experience, this is going to give you all the information that you're going to need. We're going to give you show you how to use all the training tools, not just a choke chain, not just a flat collar, not just a treat and a clicker, not just a pinch collar, not just an electronic collar. We're going to show you them all. We may not use them all. You may have no interest in using them all, but it's really important that you know how they're used, what they're used for, how they're used inappropriately, and how they're used appropriately. All right, so you have to know this, because you're going to get dogs that have had a really bad experience with a pinch collar, and then you're going to maybe decide that, maybe we'll put this dog on a pinch collar, but if you don't know what to look for to see the signs that this dog has a bad experience with a pinch collar, it can actually backfire on you. And so that would be the last thing you want to use. So we want to show you all those little things, how to use the tool, how not to use the tool, what to look for from a dog that's been trained with a tool inappropriately, and all that kind of stuff. So training tools and how to use them. That's why the little asterisk is next to it. Really important. Reward-based training techniques. Well, we pride ourselves that our system really is a reward-based system. Now, we do use corrections, that kind of stuff, but we want to get to the reward. If you can get the reward, your dog's going to be more likely to repeat what it is that you want. The training system I was taught as a police officer was very harsh, very stressful for both the human and the dog, and I brought in the new reward-based system, which changed everything for our police department and several police departments surrounding my police department and the departments that I had been training. They were so used to using compulsion, and the dogs weren't responding the way that they wanted them to. Once you bring in this reward system that's way better, they found that their dogs were doing things because they wanted to do them and they wanted to please their handler, not because they were afraid of their handler and feared their handler. All right. Human behavior, another asterisk, really, really important part of our training. We are truly human training for the dog because we focus on the human. I'm going to show you how to focus on the human, what to know about human, about how they work, how they learn, and how to train them effectively. Even the humans that you really don't like training or don't like personally, we're going to show you how to train them and be effective in training them. You're going to show you how to conduct an evaluation. Now, some of you may not be doing this as dog trainers. We found it very effective part of a way of getting people into our training system. The evaluation is a huge part of our process, especially those that really aren't quite sure about us or what techniques we're going to use and that kind of stuff. The conducting an evaluation is a very important part of our system. Conducting private sessions. We're going to show you how to conduct private sessions because sometimes not everything can be handled in the group setting. So you want to be able to be effective in private sessions and group classes. The group classes seem to be our bread and butter. It really is the easiest way to get the dog into an environment where they are going to be highly stimulated. They're going to see other dogs and other humans, and they are going to be able to put people in real life situations, conducting those group classes appropriately and safely, because you're going to be inviting dogs that aren't necessarily the nicest dogs, and maybe even the humans that aren't some of the nicest humans you've ever met. All right, you're also going to be learning how to create raving fans. That is a key to being successful in the dog business. If you're not creating raving fans, you're not earning the money that you need to earn or you want to earn. Marketing your dog training business. We're going to how to show you how to do it now in today with today's systems that work, and how you need to do it with the internet, and how you need to do with social websites and all that type of stuff. It's way too lengthy to get into now, but it's a really important part of our system now, and it's going to be an important part of your success. We're going to talk about dog aggression. Really, again, another important part of our training system is that we don't turn anything down. We take all. We have people call us and say, my dog has tried to eat 3 or 4 people, or has actually bitten 2 or 3 people. We will take that dog first in the evaluation. We're going to show you how to do that, and then we make a decision as to what the training plan is going to be for that dog. Administrative practices. We've learned a lot through administrative mistakes. If I could say administrative, maybe I could do the administrative part better. But administrative issues were probably some of the biggest reasons for our early failures as far as running as a business. I'm going to share with you some of those failures so you don't repeat them, and show you the things that worked and some of the things that we're working on for the future. Falco K9 training secrets. This is really, really important. This is the one part that really kind of sends this off into the 2.0. There's the other asterisks are the ones that shall make this a 2.0 training program. But this one, the secrets, are some of the things that I didn't even know. I didn't know I was doing. I didn't recognize it. I had to really study myself when I was training, and I realized that there's certain things that I do subconsciously that were really important to my success. And I'm going to share some of those things to you so you can bring them in or bring them out of you if you're not already doing it yourself. Public relations, how to conduct public relation seminars and demonstrations and that kind of stuff. What's important to know when you're doing a public demonstration, and how to do your public relations so that it gets you more recognition. Again, really key. If you don't know it by now, any business currently is in the show business. I know there used to be a saying that one of my buddies used to talk about all the time. We're in business, not show business, but now you're in show business. Everybody's in show business, whether you like it or not. And then of course there's going to be way more. There's more stuff that I can't put all on this program, or else we'd be here all day watching this video. And I know you don't have the time, because you have to sign up and go and find the links in what the press, or call us at our office, send us an email. We're going to send you all the information. You're going to want to be part of this program. Again, whether you're a trainer with years of experience or somebody that just wants to start a new life and become successful as a dog trainer, this is the program for you. All right, go ahead and click on one of the links. You'll either find it to the left or right or down below. Click on it, take you to the next step, or again, just pick up the phone and call our office, 714-990-9010, 714-990-9010. Looking forward to hearing from you, and I'm looking forward to having you in class in May. Take care. Talk to you later.